Hello, and welcome back to Explain the Charts, your go-to channel for in-depth market analysis. Today, August 14th, 2025, we're putting the spotlight on Ethereum, or ETHUSD, which has been demonstrating truly remarkable price action. Recent headlines paint a very bullish picture, with Yahoo Finance reporting that Ethereum is surging to near-record highs, driven by what investors are calling the biggest macro trade of the next decade. This comes hot on the heels of Bitcoin hitting a new record high of $124,496, with Ether climbing even closer to its 2021 all-time high of $4,866.01. The initial spark for this rally appears to be a cooler-than-expected July inflation report, which fueled optimism for potential Federal Reserve rate cuts at its September policy meeting, leading to a significant two-day crypto rally. However, we also saw a slight pullback today after July's wholesale inflation data came in hotter than anticipated, reminding us of the market's sensitivity to macroeconomic indicators. Beyond the macro, institutional interest is at an all-time high. Bitmine Immersion Technologies, for instance, has accumulated a massive 1.2 million ETH since early last month, amounting to approximately $5.5 billion worth. This kind of corporate accumulation, alongside tightened supply, is a strong bullish signal. The U.S. Treasury's announcement to form a strategic Bitcoin reserve also underscores growing governmental acceptance and strategic importance of digital assets, even if it's not directly about Ethereum. Analyst firm Fundstrat projects Ethereum as the most promising macro investment for the next 10 to 15 years, with a year-end target of up to $15,000, citing its 55% share in the real-world asset tokenization market. Cathie Wood of ARK Invest takes an even longer-term view, predicting Ethereum could reach a $20 trillion market cap by 2030, translating to $170,000 to $180,000 per coin, driven by its expanding use case in displacing traditional financial services. This long-term fundamental strength provides a powerful backdrop for the current price movements. In other news, Circle has launched ARK, a full Layer 1 blockchain for USDC-powered payments, which, while not directly ETH, highlights the expanding utility of stablecoins built on robust blockchain infrastructure. Conversely, the BTC Turk hack, moving $42 million in stolen crypto, serves as a stark reminder of the security risks inherent in the broader crypto ecosystem, though it hasn't significantly impacted ETH price sentiment. So, while short-term volatility exists, the prevailing sentiment is one of strong institutional adoption and long-term growth potential for Ethereum, especially as it continues its transition to Ethereum 2.0, promising enhanced efficiency and scalability. Now, let's turn our attention to the charts and see how these narratives play out in price action. Looking at the one-day chart, we can observe the broader market trends since early 2024. After starting April 2024 around $3,650, ETH experienced a significant correction, dropping to lows around $2,500 by early May. This level around $2,500 then acted as a crucial support zone through late July and early September 2024. A notable reversal occurred in November 2024, when ETH broke out of this consolidation, showing strong bullish momentum, which correlates with the growing institutional interest reported in the news. The price then surged, retesting previous highs around $3,800 to $4,000 in December 2024. However, early 2025 saw a sharp retracement, with prices falling significantly, touching lows around $1,750 to $1,800 in March and April. This deep pullback might have been influenced by broader market corrections or regulatory uncertainties during that period. The rebound from these April 2025 lows has been strong, forming a clear uptrend line leading into August 2025. Notice the surge in volume accompanying major price movements, especially the high volumes during the May 2024 rally and the subsequent dip and recovery, indicating strong participation. The current climb has pushed ETH past previous resistance levels, turning them into new supports. Specifically, The $3,800 to $4,000 area, which acted as strong resistance previously, has now been overcome, signaling significant bullish strength. The most recent push, culminating in today's high of $4,770.10, is precisely what the news outlets are highlighting regarding ETH nearing its all-time high. Let's zoom into the more recent action on the 1-hour chart to understand the short-term dynamics, particularly from late July 2025 onwards. We can see a clear upward channel forming with higher lows and higher highs. Notice the strong rally on July 25th, bouncing sharply from around $3,600, which then established a new short-term support. The volume on these hourly candles during the recent surge confirms significant buying pressure, especially leading up to August 12th and 13th. We had a brief consolidation phase between August 5th and August 8th around the $3,600 to $3,900 range before the next leg up. The sharp drop on August 13th and 14th from the highs is consistent with the news about the hotter-than-expected wholesale inflation data, causing a broad market pullback after the earlier optimism. This shows immediate market reaction to fundamental news, creating short-term volatility. The current price is holding above the $4,500 level, which now acts as immediate support following the rally. Let's narrow down our focus even further to capture the incredible volatility experienced recently, specifically from August 12, 2025, at 12:06 Universal Time coordinated to the latest available candle. On the 15-minute chart, we can clearly observe the rapid ascent on August 12, marked by multiple large green candles and spikes in transaction volume. The break above $4,500 on this time frame was a very strong bullish signal. The peak around $4,770.10 on August 13th was met with immediate selling pressure, as evidenced by the tall upper wick on that candle, suggesting rejection at that level. This level now stands as immediate strong resistance. The subsequent red candles and increased selling volume confirm the short-term bearish reversal triggered by the wholesale inflation data. For short-term trading, observing the volume accompanying these moves is critical. High volume on a break suggests conviction, while low volume might indicate a fake-out. Key short-term levels to watch are the immediate support at $4,500 and resistance at the recent high of $4,770.10. Scalpers and day traders would be looking for confirmations on lower timeframes like this 15-minute chart, such as candlestick patterns like engulfing patterns or hammer candles near support/resistance, combined with volume spikes, to make entry and exit decisions. The presence of long wicks on either side of the candles, especially on the 15-minute chart, highlights significant intra-period volatility and tug-of-war between buyers and sellers at key price points. This choppiness is a hallmark of highly liquid and news-sensitive assets like Ethereum. To recap, Ethereum has demonstrated incredible resilience and growth potential throughout 2024 and into 2025, driven by strong fundamental tailwinds like institutional adoption and expanding use cases. The short-term market reaction to recent inflation data, however, highlights the sensitivity to macroeconomic shifts, leading to price pullbacks from multi-year highs. Important price levels to keep an eye on include the immediate resistance at the recent high of $4,770, and then the all-time high around $4,866. On the downside, critical support levels are found at $4,500, then the $3,800 to $4,000 range, which was previously resistance, and further down. The strong psychological and historical support at $2,500, with extreme lows around $1,800 in early 2025. For predictions, a short-term bullish outlook, retesting the all-time high around $4,866, is moderately likely, 60%. If the next inflation reports are cooler and institutional buying resumes with high volume. A bearish short-term scenario, dropping to the $4,000 support, is also moderately likely, 40%, if inflation concerns persist and profit-taking continues, especially if volume on downward moves increases. In the long term, the bullish outlook towards Fundstrat's $15,000 target and Cathie Wood's $170,000 to $180,000 projection by 2030 remains highly likely, 80%. Given continued development of Ethereum 2.0, increasing DeFi and NFT adoption, and favorable regulatory environments, such as the potential Genius Act. Keep a close watch on upcoming inflation data, Federal Reserve announcements, and any major regulatory news from the US and globally. Also, monitor on-chain metrics like network fees and daily active users, as these can provide insights into organic demand and utility, reinforcing Ethereum's long-term value. Ultimately, a balanced approach, combining fundamental analysis of news with a keen eye on technical levels and volume, will be your best strategy when deciding when and what price to trade ETHUSD.